Welcome back. Did you know you can get an extra 45K in your retirement just by choosing Robinhood? We're your hosts, Eddie and Britt, and this is the 24-Hour Show.
3, 2, 1. We are back. Let's go. Welcome back to the show. Before we even get started, make sure you guys hit that subscribe, hit that like button. We have a fun one today. We're going to teach you guys how to get an extra 45, 50 grand into your retirement account. I know you're like, how is that even possible? Switching to Robinhood, and we're going to teach you how to do that today.
It seems like the life hack for a lot of our life needs, switching to Robinhood.
Yeah, I am a big fan of brokers over banks, to be honest, but Robinhood has made it so much easier. Before we get into today, let's go ahead and look at the stock as always.
47 close, my goodness.
I'm okay with 2.37% in after hours. I'm okay with that. That's better than where we ended today. So yeah, but it's 47. It's not where we were last week. It's not where we were when we were at 66.
I'm dying to know, are you guys buying the dip? Are you fearful? Are you greedy? What's going on? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, I bought a little bit. It dipped. I bought more. It dipped. We're still just buying, but we're not selling.
I got some buy limits on right now. I hope they get executed, but if not, that's okay. We'll just wake up in the morning and do it again.
Well, let's get straight into the episode. You guys want to hear what this hack is. Well, let's first give you guys an overview of what retirement accounts we're talking about. We're talking about Roth IRAs and traditional IRAs. Those are offered by Robinhood, and very powerful accounts without moving over to Robinhood. So that's the fun thing is we'll give you a little brief overview of these accounts. Roth IRA being our favorite, traditional IRA being close second, I guess. And yeah, I mean, for just right off the bat, we can read some of these bullet points that we have up.
Yes, we can. Let's get into it. So, if you're thinking of investing with Robinhood for your retirement, they will allow you to choose between the traditional and the Roth, as Eddie mentioned. So here are little overviews of both. The Roth IRA, you can withdraw contributions anytime, but if you withdraw earnings before the age 59 and a half, you'll be likely to pay a 10% penalty fee on them. Qualified withdrawals can be made tax-free, and there are no required minimum distributions.
This one's a strong account because you're basically, and if you're like a veteran trader or whatever, or you're just here for some Robinhood info, go ahead and skip ahead. We just wanted to make sure everyone has a basis understanding of what we're talking about. So the Roth IRA are after-tax contributions, basically meaning you were paid by your employer or your income, and you paid taxes on your paycheck. So then when you received it, you basically already had the taxes pulled out. You take that money and you put it in a Roth IRA, and while it's in there, like it said, you can grow tax-free, you can pull it out. The only thing is the earnings. So if you made any money, that has to stay in there for, I believe, 5 years, it said.
Yes.
Yeah, and then this is
unless you want to pay the penalty fee.
This is a strong account because I talked about it before on a separate show with Peter Thiel's. Someone asked about who Peter Thiel was, and I was like, yo, this guy is PayPal mafia. Like he basically turned a Roth IRA account into a tax-free billion, and he did that by putting private shares into his self-directed IRA. But that's a different story. We just want to talk about how this account can grow tax-free, and you can pull it out tax-free when you retire. Traditional IRA, a little bit different.
Yes.
Yeah, a little bit different.
So if we want to get into that, you need the money before you're 59 and a half. You'll pay 10% penalty on top of the expected income taxes you'd owe. So these are after, obviously you did not contribute to your taxes yet. Withdrawals after reaching age 59 and a half are generally taxed as ordinary income. Required minimum distributions begin at age 73.
Yeah, the only time I've ever used a traditional IRA is when moving over my 401k, and I have done it a few times from different employers. Actually, most recently, I did switch over my 401k into Robinhood, and I got this 2% match on there. So that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, just for transferring. Free money just for transferring.
Absolutely, and they made it so easy. Couple clicks into the app, and boom, they set me up with a rollover marketplace, and I didn't really have to do anything. But trust me, I tried to do this by myself before Robinhood allowed easy 401k transfers to roll over. I tried to do it. I didn't even know there was marketplace rollover companies, and it was so hard to do.
Without it.
Yeah, it was so hard to do. So once I logged in the app, clicked these buttons, I was able to transfer it over. They gave me my match as soon as it landed, which was awesome.
Beautiful.
But we'll talk about two sides of this basically on why this would be good for investors, and why it's obviously good for shareholders of Robinhood stock. Now, the obvious reasons is like this is a 3% boost into your account. So that's for Roth IRAs, by the way, contributions. And then for rollover transfers, you get 2%. So this is pretty cool. We'll go ahead and like I want to show you guys like some compound calculating. Is like this Roth IRA account is so great that the government limits it per year. Now the limit always changes, but like previously it was 6,000, 6,500, and then this year or last year was 7,000.
8,000 for catch-up, I believe.
Yeah, if you're in an older age group, you can actually put more money in.
50 or older.
Okay, so these accounts alone can generate millions of dollars for you as an investor.
Growth, dividends.
And you can actually use these vehicles for specific type of investments like dividends or REITs or anything like that, because what happens is if you own these in your Roth IRA account or your traditional IRA account, they can grow without being taxed, right? So that's the best part.
Tax-free growth, that's what we're looking for.
Yeah, you really don't ever want to interrupt compounding. So that's another reason why if you're leaving your employer like I wanted to get the 401k and take control of it. And so I had to like use the app to move it in there. And once I did that, I was like, oh, this is all together, consolidated accounts. All my deposits are there. It was super nice.
Shout out to Capitalize for making it really easy. Robinhood has been partnering with so many amazing companies that really just make the user experience so much better.
And so even if you're looking at like a 20-year time horizon, and we'll play with this compound calculator right here, you can get a lot of money off of this. So we'll pull it up right here.
This is the fun part of investing, seeing how your pennies will turn into millions.
And so we have a basic one right here. Initial deposit set up 7,000. We'll do 40 years of growth. I think Robinhood had it set up for 45. Modest 7% rate of return. Do that annually. This is why you max out your Roth IRA every year. If you're allowed to contribute to a Roth IRA, make sure you're maxing it out. So, boom, you have 1.5 million. Not bad, right? Not bad.
Not bad at all.
And that's 7,000. That's like a little more than 250 a month. Or I'm sorry, a little more than 500.
5 something.
Yeah. Month. So, I mean, it's not undoable, but it's still a good amount of money. $7,000 ain't no walk in the park for most people. So
about $584 a month.
So that's not bad at all. And then so like we have a really modest return right here of 7%. We'll just leave that the same. So if you're at Robinhood, they give you this 3%, you would be at $210 maxed out, right? So 7,210, that's your initial deposit to max out, let's say 2024, but you also want to max out 2025, right? So we'll put the 210 there for your contribution limit, and we'll keep it all the same. 40-year growth with the 7%. Let's go ahead and calculate that. So you got 1.547. That's not bad at all. You got basically an extra a little more than 45K onto this. So
gosh, compounding truly is the 8th wonder of the world.
Yeah, this is awesome because well, for two aspects actually. I can give them the shareholder one, or I can give them the investor one. Which one do you think?
Let's go with the shareholder first.
Okay, so the shareholder who's excited about Hood is probably wondering why would Robinhood be giving out all this free money? Well, the cost to acquire a customer, CAC, this is basically notoriously expensive for financial companies. So the fact that Robinhood can say, hey, I'm going to give this person $210 and I have all their assets, that has so much power in it because it has such a predictable turnover rate. And also, I mean, if you're a shareholder, of course, they have to keep their funds here for 5 years. So that means that this customer is most likely going to be a forever customer, because after 5 years, you probably won't want to move your account.
It is a hassle.
Unless somebody offers you some crazy benefits like what Robinhood did, right?
That's a great point. I think it's a $1 billion industry, multi-billions too, for customer acquisition. And using this as a vehicle to put the money directly in the hands of the consumer, directly in the customer's hands, that's exactly what Robinhood is all about, is returning that straight to the customer. So I love that we're putting it in our pockets, and it's money well spent. It's not like a commercial for the Super Bowl. It's directly to your preferred demographic as well.
Yeah, check out this power of compounding. You go from 1.5 million if you just do 8%, which is still modest. Like you think of the S&P, it brings about 10%
I was
a year.
gonna say, give me a 13%. Give me something juicy.
So you do 8%, shoots you up to 2 mil already. So the compounding is so magical right here, and I think it really starts with Robinhood because I already gave you guys the shareholder of Hood. That's how they're going to be thinking. Hey, this cost is worth it. These users are worth every penny, and in the long term, it's all going to pay back. But as a just a general investor, this is so powerful to be able to one, predict how much money you're going to have in the future, but you're able to sneak in an extra 3% into every year. So even though the government taps you out at 7,000, Robinhood is matching you 3%. That's $210 more into your account that you would not be able to get.
Gold Boost is really worth. I mean, they.
Oh yeah, my bad.
This is for gold.
You have to have gold
yes.
too. Thanks for mentioning that. You have to have gold to do this. They do give 1% matches to non-gold users for the Roth, but why even bother with that when you can be paid back 3%? You know.
Yeah. What is that? So we have $5 a month. That's $60 a year versus a 210 return. So talk about an insane ROI. I'm not going to do the math for you, but I like that.
and so this is, I love playing with the compound calculator. Make sure you guys, this is a NerdWallet one, but if you guys just go type in compound calculator, you can estimate this, put in how much money you're contributing into an S&P, see what the S&P has returned over a certain amount of time. I believe it's about 10%, but we wanted to be modest and keep these numbers low. But
if you account for inflation, it's not as fun, but still, this is a good little thing.
Yeah, it gets a little crazy.
Little treat, little dopamine hit.
Yeah,
honestly.
Just do this. Make sure you get to your number, and then I think it's better to work backwards, right? They say begin with the end in mind. So find out your number. Maybe it's 2.5 million. You know, I want to take out 80,000 a year for the rest of my life. Get to your number, but you don't know your number unless you play with these compound calculators and figure it out. So.
Absolutely, Ed. And I know this is a lot of information and it might not seem important right now, but I do want to give you a few stats on why this is so important to start while time is on your side. Specifically for women, I'm speaking to you right now. So in retirement, women face a significantly higher risk of poverty after retirement compared to men due to lower lifetime earnings, longer life expectancy, caregiving that interrupts their workflow. A few stats: women aged 65 and older are 25% more likely than men at the same age to live in poverty. Wow. Women 75 to 79 being 3 times more likely than men to fall below the poverty line. Women are 80% more likely than men to experience poverty. Around 19% of unmarried single women over 65 live in poverty, with widowed women being twice as likely as widowed men to be impoverished. This is very scary. These statistics are not it's not on our side, ladies. I don't want anybody to be left behind in retirement. Start saving now, start planning now while time is on your side and compounding is on your side. You don't want to be 55 expecting to retire in 10 years and have nothing to retire to, no plans. Especially for this generation, a lot of women are not having children right now. So we don't have that fallback as many of our parents did of, oh, it's fine, our kids will take care of us. You need to start planning for your health savings account, your HSA, all of the tools that are at your fingertips. Definitely take advantage of them now while you can. It's so much easier to save and work in your 20s and 30s than it is to do in your 50s and 60s.
Yeah, I'll add on to that. I think even if you've like gathered the best investors into the room all over the world, I would say collectively a lot of them would say their worst regret was not starting sooner. Because that's where the magic is, you know. The earlier you start, the better, the easier it is. How compounding can work in your favor is the time component. It's not how much money's there. It's not, you know, how much you can hustle today and try to put some away. It's literally time. So you need to let time do the work. And a lot of people are just working and spending their money on all this, you know, whatever, frivolous, consumptive stuff. at the end of the day, you are going to have to retire, like she said, and you're going to need some money, and you should be saving your energy in one form or another. We would suggest a retirement account because it keeps your mind like knowing every time I put $1 in there, I'm buying some of my time back. And I just think that's very important for women, and especially the working class people. You know, it's not everyone don't get an inheritance. Everyone doesn't like have a company they found. So make sure you're taking. I like this saying that Brittany says. She says, personal finance is more important than
Is
personal.
just as important as your
Okay,
horse.
just as important as personal
Yes.
hygiene. And so if you're thinking about that, it's like if you're broke, you're gonna affect other people. You know, if there's a situation though in the future where you might be able to make huge generational moves, but if you don't have any money and you don't have any energy saved up, then you're not gonna be able to do this. You're gonna have to do some soul searching at 65, trying to figure out who's gonna take care of you. But
And that's really what your savings is. It's stored energy. You're using your energy to work and make the money. You, in turn, going and putting that energy out into things that are not going to provide stability or care for your future. You know, you putting your energy towards those nights at Nobu, those vacations aren't going to keep a roof over your head in your 60s. So let's be mindful with our spending and our saving because that really is our earned energy.
yeah, so just to even wrap that up, the Roth IRA, super powerful. Use it, contribute it, max it out every year. Do that for 25 years. If you're doing indexes and chill, you'll probably be safe and you will be a millionaire whether you plan to or not. But that's just the easy step.
The math checks out.
Yeah, let's go ahead and move into more of like the 401ks and traditional IRAs. So they don't have a 401k at Robinhood, but you are able to transfer over your 401k into a traditional IRA for a 2% match that I was telling you guys about. So
And the 401k is just the employer plan match usually.
when does this end?
The best day of the year, guys. April 30th, the day we got engaged, my birthday, all that good stuff.
Would you like to give them your social security number while you're here too?
My bad. We might need to bleep that later.
Okay, so yeah, like she said, we have you want to claim this retirement boost before April 30th. So if you're thinking about it, the best part about this is taxes are actually due in April.
April 15th.
So if you have never contributed to a Roth IRA, you actually can contribute to your 2024 Roth IRA all the way up until taxes are due, which is in April, right? And then you can start working on your 2025 IRA right now. So if you have money just to fill up 2024 and contribute to 2025, do that. But basically, if you've never done this before, you can go ahead, open up your Robinhood account, contribute the full amount for last year and this year, and get $420.
Sheesh.
That's 3% of the 14K that would fill up 2 years of your Roth IRA at current prices.
I like that free money. I just started contributing to my 2026, so knocking out those contributions early this year. And I plan on transferring over a singular Fidelity account just for that match.
Nice. Okay, so let's get over to 401k. These are this is so you have 4 things that you can do, which is why I ended up transferring it to Robinhood, like you should too. But you can basically roll it over your assets to an IRA. You can leave the assets at your former employer. You can roll over assets to a new employer, or you can take a cash distribution. So basically, only one of these options, which is the converting to an IRA, seems like the best move. Everything else interrupts compounding, gives you lack of choices, gives you lack of options. I would suggest, even if you wanted to take your money out of a 401k, let's say you don't want to transfer over this 401k and you're like, what do I do with this? I would definitely focus on trying to, one, learn about indexes, learn about managing your own money, and then once you take control of this 401k, you can then take the distribution if you want to. Now, you can take it out for like medical reasons. You can take it out for like school expenses.
These are penalty free withdrawals.
Yeah, and you shouldn't interrupt compounding. But if you need to, the traditional IRA is way better than your 401k.
I would say the only reason to do that is if you cannot find a loan that will beat that rate. If if the interest on the loan that you're looking to take out is not going to do it for you, definitely look to your retirement. But that would be the last thing.
Yeah, and the traditional IRA, that just gives you more freedom. So whether or not you're taking it out or not, you should have all the options and the freedom to do what you want with your money. And so taking control of your 401k by putting into Robinhood, get your 2%. It's so easy to line up on that, to be honest. But they actually have some cool stuff. Let me make these smaller real quick. Okay, so this basically has a portfolio builder on there. They also allow you to trade options, like we were talking about. And I mean,
I think this is great. I was just speaking to somebody who was hesitant on opening a retirement account on Robinhood because they had no idea what to choose. And I said, actually, they do a recommended portfolio for you now that they will recommend ETFs, stocks, bonds, varying amount of each, depending on your suitability. So your income, your time horizon, your assets outside of Robinhood, all that good stuff is taken into account before they formulate a stock portfolio.
Yeah, so if all different tolerances can be accounted for,
and it's only recommended. It's you don't have to. You can change the amounts. You can change everything. But this is just what the AI.
It's a good startup
for you. Yeah.
Well, you can also do options in your tax accounts, which we went over earlier. If you're running options in a regular individual brokerage account, you're going to have a big tax bill by the end of the year. Let's say you're taking up one of these popular styles on X, like wheeling or something, right? You're selling cash secure puts, you're selling cover calls, you're doing it over and over. You're creating taxable events throughout the year. By the time next year rolls around, you will have a tax bill. You have to pay taxes by April again. So when you do this in a retirement account, you're avoiding those taxes because these trades are in retirement accounts. So use those vehicles, grow your money tax free, use the options, use the portfolio builder.
So many tools at your fingertips, at your disposal that the last generation, our parents did not have. Definitely take advantage of this.
No, yeah, this was not possible before without Robinhood, which is why they're amazing. So I bet so we did talk about a little bit. I do want, before we hit this Roth disclosure, actually, let's hit back to this compound calculator. People were probably asking, well, where did we get that 45K at? Well, if you check this out and you check this 7210, I can even move this back to 7%. If you look at this, and let's match it to what Robinhood said. If you calculate this out, it's actually well over 50K, but it really just depends on if Robinhood is going to offer this 3% match over your investing career, which will be freaking awesome.
This is customer acquisition time. We don't know if this will continue or how long it will continue, so take advantage while they're offering it.
And that's also a great point, Brittany, just for even investors, because if this isn't working to acquire customers, then they have to pivot. They need to go do something else, which they can switch it up in 3 months. And
they will, because they're good at that. They're great at that.
So, other than that, I just want to put in this Roth disclosure. They have the 2% matching on transfers for Roths and 401ks. They have contribution matches of 3% for just the Roth IRA. All this goes under a wealth management fee of just $5 a month, and you can actually avoid paying $60 and pay $50 a year if you do it annually. This is something that I feel like every young investor should take advantage of. And this is definitely the brokerage of the future. And you obviously have to give it to Robinhood for trying these different levers on how to get more deposits, how to get more gold subscribers. All of these work, and you should take advantage of them as they're learning, because I'm going to be taking advantage of these to get this extra money. And it compounds into a lot of money, as you can see, once you start playing with the calculator.
And if you don't, you're leaving money on the table. Don't leave your money on the table.
Yeah, so sorry for the clickbait on that 45 grand. Just know but
it's real.
Every dollar compounds for every year that it is invested. And so with Robinhood offering $210 or 3% matches, this is a snowball that nobody was ready for.
And just a reminder, Warren Buffett earned most of his wealth after the age of 65 due to compounding. So be like Warren.
And Einstein said it was the 8th wonder of the world. Okay, that's it for today, guys. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like.
We'll be back on the next one.
If you have any questions about retirement accounts inside of the Robinhood app, please reach out. I can, offer out any suggestions. This is not financial advice. This is purely entertainment.
NFA.
And we hope to see you next time.
CYOR. Goodbye.